26th birthday party, which had a theme, and the theme was dogs. So if I, in the heat of the moment, pick up the pages I'm reading, you'll see things like, when I do that, you don't have to fetch. It's so humiliating, I felt like I had to explain that. So now you know, you can wag your tail. You don't have to.
It's okay to recycle in Asheville.
I understand about that. All right. So this piece is called Endgame. It was morning rush hour, and the subway station was packed. The platform was choked with people. They bunched up at the stairs, and wherever construction made the space too narrow, and they had to walk in single file. A tall, pretty young woman with curly blonde hair stood by a metal pylon at the edge of the platform, just short of the nubby yellow warning strip. She kept her back to the tracks, watching the crowd shuffle by her. Trains came and went, but she didn't get on any of them. She just stood there. The only other person doing the same thing was an old man in a dashiki sitting on a milk crate under the stairs, who was playing Margaritaville over and over again on a steel pan. The young woman had been excited when she first arrived, but she'd been standing there for 2 hours now, starting at 6 in the morning, and her excitement was starting to pall. It was separating out into boredom and jitteriness, the way the frosting on a birthday cake that's been left out too long separates into butter and sugar. She wasn't especially enjoying Margaritaville, which the old man in the dashiki rendered slowly and lovingly with a lot of swelling tremolos and rallentandos. She leaned back against the iron pillar, thinking bored and jittery thoughts, and let the waves of people wash past her. Here they were, the winners of humanity's great historical lottery, living in the richest city in the world, in the richest period of human civilization ever, and they were trudging to work in a rat-infested cement cavern on their way to stare at computer screens for 8 hours. What happened here? Whose fault was it? Who had betrayed whom? Yes, real live rats. She'd seen 6 so far. I don't actually know if New York City is the richest city in the world. It sounded good as I wrote it, but one day, if this is ever published, a copy editor will put a big circle around that. What do they say? They say CKTK, which is just reminding you to check your facts. She just wanted it to start already. She looked at her watch. The fog in the air was rich and capricious. Steam, sweat, machine oil, cheese, shit. Jesus, you took your life in your hands every time you breathed in. It was only about the 3rd time she'd ever even been in a subway station. At that reading in New York City, my daughter was there, to whom the book is dedicated. She's only 6, so I had to leave out all the swear words. So I'm going to say them twice as loud, as I've been saving them up. She glanced down the platform to where Rob was standing, his gawky, curly head bobbing and swiveling above the crowd like an ostrich's, his mouth never completely closed. They were supposed to make eye contact every 5 minutes. That was part of the system. Sean would be somewhere down the other end. The 3 of them were the stoppers. She looked at her watch, and then back at the crowd. The thing was, it was taking too long. It had already taken too long, way too long. She looked at her watch again, 8:07. Possibly they hadn't come, or they hadn't come this way, but she didn't believe that. They had to come this way. Tactically, it was overdetermined, 10 times over, and plus, they had good intel. But the thing was, they didn't have all that far to come, and they wouldn't have waited this long. They must have slipped through the net. They'd be at the goal soon if somebody didn't chase them down. Probably they were already there, except that then the turn would have ended. If she could just find them, she could take them. She knew she could. It might already be too late. And anyway, she had to pee. She bit her lip and looked at Rob again and gave him the okay sign, and then, when he looked away, she stepped away from the pylon, ditched her prop purse in the trash, and joined the crowd that was slowly trying to feed itself up the stairs. She was going off the reservation. They would murder her if she was wrong, destroy her, But wasn't that why she was a stopper? She took the big chances that nobody else would. So, anyway, if she was wrong, she'd be back in position in a couple of minutes. No harm, no foul. As she passed him, the man in the dashiki stopped covering Jimmy's bucket and stood up abruptly. She made a curious, contorted sign with her fingers and whispered a word in Farsi. He sat down again, face planted gently into his steel pan, his sticks clattering on the cement. Some people claim there's a woman to blame. Now she was moving around, and in play it was all different. The scene had unfrozen. It was no longer a photograph, but a movie starring her. She could breathe again. It was like she'd taken a hit off an inhaler. The early morning fog was burning off. This was the good part. And when the going was good, nobody was better at it than she was. By the way, this whole story is stolen a little bit from Le Carré, of whom I'm a big fan. And I really was attracted to this idea of doing a kind of Le Carré kind of story, except where everybody's worried that the turn is going to end before they have time to do what they were supposed to do. And that line I just read is stolen from the beginning of The Russia House, which is a great book, and a not great movie. She tried to keep her eyes